Hello, this is Shantipon here again. I am making this video after a long time. I was preparing for JAIIB exams and eventually I failed in that exam. Good, that is good. So, if you are unable to hear the voice, so you can increase the volume, and if this video goes long, so definitely I would say that you should increase the speed of the video. I was a bit taken by fever and I was also not well. So for these reasons, I couldn't make a video. But I was also thinking whether I would share my failure story with you, because many people had success stories. So from failures, you get to learn something. So from my failure, what I learned and what you should learn too, I would be sharing. So before that, I would like to share my scorecard and you can see the scorecard. So let's go to my scorecard. So this is my scorecard. Well, you can see the marks in the end, where you can see marks secured 48 out of 100. Now people who don't know about this exam, JAIIB exam, it's an exam which is given when you enter a bank and you can appear for JAIIB. Well, there is also a DCF exam. Well, for that you need not be a banker, but I don't think that is something which is much helpful. But people who are seeing this JAIIB marks, it is actually, there are three papers, and one is PPB, one is AFB, and another is LRB. So I am not going into the abbreviation part. So you can see this is PPB, that is Principles and Practices of Banking. I have cleared one of these papers, LRB, that is about legal and regulatory part of the banking. So I got 53 out of 100 in that subject. And the pass marks, as I will have to say about the pass marks. Now the pass marks is 50 out of 100, and if you are giving all these three papers at once, then you will have to get 150 out of 100 in aggregate. So now that I have got 48 out of 100 in Principles and Practices of Banking, and okay, now let's see. Okay, AFB, that is Accounting and Finance for Bankers. So I have also got 48 out of 100 in Accounting and Finance for Bankers. Okay, nice tragedy, good. So if I would have appeared for LRB in this exam, maybe I haven't got that exam cleared. If I would have given that exam and if I would have got 54 out of 100, then the aggregate average score would have been 150. You get it? So I failed in both of these exams, and these are the scores. Okay, if you want to see it again, these are my scores. Now I would like to draw my conclusion. Let's go to the video. Now that I have already shared my scorecard with you. So number one, I tasted failure after a long time. I was preparing for these exams. I would not say that I wasn't preparing, but I wasn't preparing that seriously. So I would like to say to those people to whom I say that prepare, if you are preparing for something, prepare it seriously. So I am in the same boat like you people. Now there are people who are now preparing for the banking exam. I was preparing for another exam, that is not a banking exam definitely, but this was also an exam. I had to clear that exam definitely, but I couldn't do because I was not preparing it well. So what did I learn from this? There are many things that I learned from it. Number one, that if you are working professional, then you have to allot a time. You have to allot a time, and then you have to prepare for this exams. So the same goes for the aspirants who are working. maybe they are working in software industry, maybe they are working in any other industries, and they are preparing for banking exams. So you have to be very consistent. Number 2, the right source. Now one thing that I would like to add is that in this exam, the books that I was using, those were a bit out of date. Okay, number 1. Number 2, the exams were moderate. Now I would like to say that the exams were moderate, but number 3, there is another thing which I would like to add, is that if your basics are not right, if you are not having the basics right, then definitely you would not be getting the marks. In accounting is one of the subject where many of the aspirants who are appearing for JAIIB, they get that very tough, because they don't understand the most important thing, that is the debit part and the credit part, because that is the most important part where you have to learn. And I was also the victim of same thing. I was a bit I was actually avoiding that subject. Now avoidance of a subject would lead to failure, and so I failed. It's okay. So from here I would like to say that people who are fearing a subject, let's say you are fearing English or maths or reasoning, any one of these subjects, you will not be successful. You will not be able to crack the exam. So that is another taking from my failure. You take these things from my failure and correct yourself. So this is again another one. Number 3, now I said that the exam was moderate. So will I blame to IIBF that why have you made this exam moderate, why have you toughened the exams, why have you made these questions so tough? I cannot question that. That is in the hands of the institution who is actually preparing this exam pattern. Definitely I cannot blame someone if I am failure. So I would say never to blame. So definitely you will have to prepare for the toughest question. That is something which I would be taking. Number 4, consistency. Now I didn't have that consistency, so I failed. So if you are not consistent in your subject, let's say if you are giving 1 hour, let's say 1 hour, give that 1 hour, totally dedicate that 1 hour on that exam, on that part. Now I don't know what will be the next step for me as a banker, as an aspirant for JAIIB. Maybe I would fail again, or maybe I would say, whatever be it, I was sad. Well, that is human emotion. And on the first day when I was giving the principals, that PPB exam, I was really sad because I prepared for that exam really well, but I was wrong. And the reason, you know why? There was yet another module which was added years back, I think 1 year or 2 year back, which was ethics part, and from there many questions are coming. People who are actually watching this video and they haven't appeared for this exam because of the pandemic situation, or maybe they are far away from their exam center. So if you have not given or if you have not appeared for this exam, listen to this, that the exam pattern is actually changing a bit. And if you are thinking that your what has been a general pattern, don't think like that. You have to know each and every module in the same manner, and don't think that okay, module B will have more questions, module C will have more questions, module E will have more questions this time. Okay, so you have to prepare everything. So likewise, as I said, so what are you getting? The people who are not still bankers, you have to prepare for each and every subject in the same manner, and each and every part. I mean, where I am saying the module, so over here for you it's not the module but the syllabus and different topics. So if you are giving more emphasis on puzzles, maybe sometimes you may not get the puzzles and the exam gets easier. or maybe the exam gets tougher, where tougher puzzles may be given. So this is yet another part where you get the this, you know, what you can say, you get the knowledge. Okay, so my failure is your success. And why? Because you get to know something, you got to know something from my failure. Now I failed and I'm really happy, and you know why? There is one reason. I didn't know about this subject, AFB. This AFB is very important to learn, and to learn it from scratch. You have to know it from scratch. You have to know its nature. You have to know that what is debit and credit, because after you become an officer, if you really become an officer one day, then you have to understand the basics. And if you don't have that concept, because I didn't have the concept at that moment, I had the concept for the PPB. I had some knowledge, not all knowledge, I will not say that, but I had some knowledge. And after some time I got to know that okay, you have to be totally knowledgeable throughout. So I would say that if you are preparing for JAIIB and you haven't appeared, then go to this Adda 24/7. This is actually the best part, where I always say Adda 24/7 for bankers, because banking means Adda 24/7, because that is something which I always use. I always use this word, Adda 24/7. So my final words will be: stay healthy, stay safe, and in this pandemic situation, take care of your family, take care of yourself, and work well if you are working member, and study well if you are studying. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.